Welcome back to this Cardinals franchise as we take on the Los Angeles Dodgers. Tink Hence on the mound, bases loaded situation, flies it out to Spencer Jones, and that'll get us out of the second inning. I know I've been kind of sparse with the uploads. Life is lifing. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. After that, you'll probably never hear me talk about subscribers again. Spencer Jones, on the other hand, slaps this one into left field. Diving attempt by the left fielder. I honestly forgot who the roster is at this point. Nonetheless, bases loaded for the recently acquired first baseman, Kenzie Noel. Big Christmas gifts us with 2 RBI on the board. Jones to third. 3-2 Cardinals as we take on the top team in the National League West. J.J. Weatherholt with an inside circle change, hits it to left field for a single. Another runner on as the Cardinal offense, once every 15 games we go off. And we continue that with Jake McCarthy, base hit in the right center. Runner from second will score. Still nobody out here in the fourth against Blake Snell, and they are going to pull the former Cy Young Award winner. Gorman smacks this one into left field because this just seems to be where they like to hit it at this point, this time off of a right-hander. Emmett Sheehan. Burleson smokes this one deep, straightaway center. Pages, a diving attempt. He can't come up with the baseball. That'll clear the bases and make it 8-2 for the Cardinals. And as we take a look later in the game, we're up by 2. Let's take a look at the last cycle in Cardinals history 6 years ago as Weatherholt gets a hold of a cutter, hits it into right field. He is going to at least go to second. The right fielder eventually has come up with it. He's hustling to third. The throw to the second baseman. He's in there with a triple, giving him the first cycle of his career. In the first cycle we've seen in this series, we need something positive as we continue to languish in the bottom of the National League Central. We've got some parts clearly. Kenzie Noel having a good start to the season. Granted, we're only 2 weeks in, so I can't really be too crazy about a hot start from a player who we acquired off of waivers. Paul Steens, top draft pick. Probably the best pitcher in baseball, and we're 3-4 years into his career. Last 2 starts, lights out per usual, as he's been since the second he stepped on a major league mound. The 2025 Cy Young Award winner helped get this Pirates team to back-to-back postseason appearances for the first time in a long time. And first, a strikeout in the ballgame is off a sweeper with some just devastating break on it. As we're now up to the number 3 batter, Gorman. We are 7th in the National League in power, so the acquisition of Adele and Jones, though Jones hasn't really hit for power, we're showing that we can hit for some power. So far in the early going of the season, unfortunately, our best power threat from last year will strike out to end the first. Jump ahead. Even at the age of 38, 4-time World Series champion, MVP, 2-time World Series MVP, Freddie Freeman signing on to continue his career here in Pittsburgh. 2,700 hits. And he's the leadoff batter for some reason, not where I would put him in the lineup, even at his age. As you see the rest of the lineup, they've also tacked on Christian Yelich, and of course Connor Griffin, the number 1 prospect at the beginning of this franchise, now 3 years later, batting .327 to start the season. Adele becomes a strikeout victim. This might be a recurring theme. Burleson, bouncer to third, and unfortunately we will have nothing to know. We will have a late base runner on the error on the throw by Mangum. And Tommy Troy takes advantage and gets a base hit. Can Weatherholt drive? Runner in, cannot do so. Disgusting splitter from a disgusting Arsenal from the best pitcher in baseball. Nothing through 2. Jump ahead, Connor Griffin. We set him down on McGreevy's best pitch, his big-time loop-de-loop hook of a curveball to end the second in. Pages another strikeout victim. That's what, Skeen's fourth, fifth, as a matter of fact. As you see, he served up a diet of a lot of fastballs in that sweeper, mixing in some other stuff that just fall off the table in the splitter, circle change, and sinker. Horowitz suffers the strikeout fate from McGreevy on an inside fastball. Good pitch by Mike, and Gorman strikes out, but he's going to call for the challenge, and when we look upon further review, it is a strike, getting just enough of the baseball in the zone, as left fielder Isaac Collins of the Kansas City Royals, 16-game hit streak. Fred Mays, now the second baseman in New York, stole 3 bases against the Red Sox. He was a draftee back in 2027, so just over a year ago, now taking over for Sosa, who I cannot remember what his first name is. I know him when I see him. It is what it is. McGreevy surfing up a decent amount of fastballs of his own. Take a look at the tail of the tape through 4. Both giving up 3 hits. Skeen's obviously the better strikeout guy thus far. Weatherholt makes it strikeout number 7 through 4 1/3 innings. Pages suffers a similar fate. Strikeout number 8. This time on the circle change, as Skeen's starting to really flesh out the repertoire, as Connor Griffin hits this one high and deep between Jones and Adele. It bounces off the warning track, and that is a ground rule double. His 10th of the season. We are, maybe 6 weeks through the season, as I jumped ahead a decent amount. Jeffers will at least advance the runner to third. O'Neal Cruz. First pitch, batting at the bottom of the line. Remind you why Pittsburgh kept him. Smokes this one, giving the Pirates a 2-0 lead. That might be all they need, given Skeens is on the mound, having such a devastating pitching performance against this Cardinal offense. Jump ahead to the 6th, and Nolan Gorman has been one of our better hitters, probably one of the best hitters on the road. 350, 5 homers, all of the home runs he's hit this season on the road, and 11 ribbies. Hits this one high, deep, left field. It is a warning track shot that is caught by former 2-time MVP Christian Yelich, somehow playing left field at his advanced age of 37. Adele says, I got you. I'm going to put those runs on the board for us, tying it up at 2 apiece off the sweeper. His 8th home run of the season. Hopefully he's got plenty more of that in the chamber, as now the Pirates going to go to a new pitcher, Mason Montgomery. Not giving up much to righties or lefties, but we jump ahead as Christian Yelich, former MVP, hits this curveball into the right center field gap. Jones will come up with it, throw it back in. That's a 2-out base runner in scoring position for Jared Triolo. 2 homers and 15 RBI, playing third base. And the curveball. Roll to Burleson, easy step on the bag. That gets us out of 6 in a tie ball game. Jump ahead, Ivan Herrera hits this one high and deep to right field, and it's over the head of the right fielder, who completely misplayed that, leaving Cruz having to recover the baseball. That's Herrera's 8th double of the season. Can Gorman drive in the run? And it looks like he is going to. Herrera going to easily score from second. Cruz, his lengthy body, still can't come up with the baseball. Then the ball's overthrown, but it's not going to matter. Gorman will stay put at second, as we have taken a late lead here in the top of the 8th. Adele 2 for 3, and a long ball earlier and a single. Driving in 2 on the big blast. 0-2. Hits a curveball high, deep, left center. Cruz at the warning track makes the catch. Throws it back in, and we are going to retreat back to second. We do not want to test one of the strongest arms in baseball history. Yes, granted, it was that shortstop when he last threw that ball. Freeman comes up clutch, base hit, make it a double. He'll stand up tall at second, his 7th double of the year, and they're going to replace him with David Hamilton, one of the most annoying speedsters and pinch runners in the game. And Horowitz takes a cutter, hits it to right center. Jones will come up with it. Will the runner score from second? The throw back in, hits the cutoff. Troy hits it and then hits the catcher. Will not advance as Brian Reynolds, the longest tenured Pirate so far, hits this one even further, damn near into the Allegheny, 450 feet, giving these Pirates the late lead back, 4-3. Can we swing the game back in our favor? Triolo. Oh, it's not going to happen. O'Brien serving up a sinker that did none of what it's advertised as. A straight fastball sent out the left field. That's a 2-run lead. Abner Uribe. Weatherholt plops this one in between left, short, and center for a base run hit, meaning Pages will be one of the last opportunities. Cannot capitalize with a base hit to advance Weatherholt. McCarthy, swing and miss. The catcher comes up throwing in. Oh, just gets him in time, securing the victory for Pittsburgh. Unfortunately, Orangelo Sinjay does get injured in the immediate next game, out for 2 months with a torn hamstring, fielding a ball. Quinn Matthews looks like he is going to get the call up with a 1.8 ERA and a 5-1 record. Well, at least after we put him on the 40-man roster. If we do so, he will jump into the rotation, as that is yet another starter we have lost so far in what might quickly be another lost season. And now we lose Ivan Herrera, a torn groin. What is up? Oh, my God. We can't catch a break at all. Well, I did sign Max Muncy for a reason. He does have major league experience, so I guess we're going to call him up. That means we'll have to make a change to the lineup, as Muncy does play third, short, and second. Who are we going to move? Remains to be seen. He does have major league experience. Again, 16 homers for the Athletics last year. Jimmy Crooks is going to get the call up at catcher. Not much to really speak of. Decent, bat in his hands, decent fielder. We just need the extra catcher, as we really kind of used the Herrera as just a DH exclusively. And we will send J.J. Weatherholt down. I know that's disappointing to some of y'all, but he's got the attributes. It's just not quite translating into actual, production. 2 homers so far. 185 is the bigger issue. On-base percentage terrible. Slugging just about as terrible. We'll see him again at some point. I'm not going to leave him languishing down there. Nonetheless, we are home against the defending World Series champion, Seattle Mariners. Yes, you heard that right. They won the World Series after going to the World Series the year prior to 2025. In other words, 2027, sorry. Cardinals, 6-game losing streak. Brendan Nimmo, World Series MVP, off to a regular season MVP pace with 12 homers and 22 RBI so far for the top team in the American League. West gets on with a single. The rest of the lineup is as follows. Josh Naylor, who just grounded out. Julio Rodriguez, Taylor Ward, Cole Young, Dominic Canzoni, Darrell Anayas, Blake Rumbush, and Brian O'Keefe, who is playing in front of Cal Raleigh, which is very weird. I think Raleigh's having the day off. Rodriguez, finally a World Series champion. No MVP yet, but I don't think he cares that much when he's delivered Seattle their first title in their history. Unfortunately, strikeout in the first plate appearance. Muncy throws it over to first. We get out of the first inning unscathed. On the mound is Brian Wu, 4.11 ERA, 1.2 whip. Pretty good pitcher for a Seattle Mariners team who is just really freaking good. There's a reason why they won the World Series last year. They're just a good team. They got their one superstar. They have a very good rotation and enough around Julio that, they're able to do what they needed to do in the second straight year in which they made the World Series. Adele bounces one in the right field, and McCarthy's going to stay put at third. Ken Gorman drive in a run, swing and a miss, inside slider. They really should have laid off. He'll be the first strikeout victim of the ball game. Burleson and Jones, 3 straight lefties in this lineup for today. Jacob Berry, Muncy making his Cardinals debut. Tommy Troy and Pedro Pages taking over in the backstop. Burleson with an opportunity to get in a run, though unlikely to know how that's going to happen. Rips a fastball in the right field. McCarthy easily could have cartwheeled home. Runner from first, coming around to score. Easily, it's now 2-0 to start off the ball game. Spencer Jones bounces it up the middle. And nope, we're going to stay put, not testing the arm. A hell of a dime throw by Julio Rodriguez. Can Berry drive in the run? No, wild pitch, getting behind him. What the hell are you doing? When they're waving somebody on, they're usually waving in someone where there's a free base, because you must be smoking something if you thought you were going to score on that. Oh, God. We get into our own way. Check swing by Muncy, and he is going to work a walk. So good plate discipline. I don't know why he swung at that slider. So unfortunately, Tommy Troy will not be able to advance him in any sort of way yet. Can Pages do so? 0-2, swing and miss. I thought he might have got a little bit of it. He did not. As we take a look at the starting pitching stats, they're top 10, if not top 5 in most of the important pitching categories. So good reason why they have a 5-game lead in the American League West. Adele smacks a slider that hungs a little bit over the plate for a base hit. Gorman can ground into a easy double play. Damn it. Ay, ay, ay. Burleson, swing and a miss, outside, high heater, ends the 3rd inning without another run. Julio Rodriguez starting off the 4th, sends it high and deep to center field. Jones' 6'6" frame can't come up with it, as it is 15 feet beyond where he reached. He is not that tall. That's not Victor Wembanyama. Hell, he ain't coming up with that either. Taylor Ward hits this one in the left field for a base hit. Seattle down 2-1. Cole Young grounded to Muncy. Muncy, the second, back to first. Double play by McGreevy. Look to maintain the 1-run lead, as a matter of fact. And Jones will bounce one in the left field for a single with nobody out. Berry follows up with a single of his own. Berry's been playing solidly well for a guy I really didn't expect to, do a hell of a whole lot at second base. He's not the best of defenders. We'll take what we can get. And we also will take what we can get from Max Muncy. He'll drive in one. The second one a little questionable. Over the head of Naylor, and that run will easily score. Not sure if that'll be an RBI or an error, as the first run should count for Muncy. Not sure about the second. Seattle going to go to a new arm, as things just aren't working out for them so far through 3 1/3. Tommy Troy bounces this one just inside fair territory, making it 5-1 Cardinals against the defending champions. McCarthy, hard hit fastball, harder than to hit the plate. It'll be a double. Runner hesitates to advance, waiting for it to bounce. It's not going to matter. He's going to score. I didn't think that he would actually score from that, but we'll take it. It's 6-1. As McGreevy sets down Hernandez with a sinker. Very hittable sinker. As he's really mixing things up, really working in the off-speed and breaking ball pitches along with the fastball. Speaking of, Brian O'Keefe sends this one the straightaway right center field. 421 feet, and clap for him. Matter of fact, somebody go get that baseball for him. That is his first career home run. Mind you, he is 34 years old. Hey, sometimes it takes a while before you get your cup of coffee in the league. Some guys get one plate appearance. Some guys get a couple of years. You never know. And, sparse opportunities. As Spencer Jones, we won't have to worry about that with him. He is at least part of our semi-long-term plans. Barry will bounce one down in the left field for a single. As Max Muncy batting 1,000. I wish he'd hit like this for the rest of his career. It's not likely. Well, at least in this game, he's batting 1,000. We'll take it. His third RBI of the ball game. 90, we just called this man up from either double or triple A. Tommy Troy rolls one in the center. I'm a little surprised. Second baseman didn't make a diving attempt at that. Could have turned two, maybe. And, wow, Seattle's going to their third arm of the ball game. That call on Carlos Vargas. Hines hits a slider to right center. Runners at second and third are both going to tag. The throw from second to third, they're not going to get the back runner. It's now 9-2. Mind you, Seattle's up 2-0 in this series. As McCarthy will bounce one, the short, and no, it kicks off with the glove. As we end up busting their chops 11-3. Hey, we got to take whatever positives we can, even if it's, taking the last game of the series against the world champs. Subscribe. Holla at y'all later. Peace out.